Good evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, and I'm back with another metal update. We're going to look at purely records this time. I got 7 inches, I've got one 10-inch and a stack of LPs. And to keep it analog in the background, we are listening to a tape. This is the new one from Sidereen. Sidereen is the new band who formed out of Teleport. They're a band from Slovenia, and they play cosmic death metal. Like it's similar to like Cosmic Putrefaction. They've got technical riffing style like Zealotry, and they're really good. This follows on nicely from the Teleport stuff. They had to change their name. There was some kind of problem with I think one of the members of the band, so instead of trying to fix that problem, all the other members of the band just formed Sidereen, and this is Sidereal Evolution. Very nice tape. I think there's still copies. There you go. So yeah, 2 tracks, very long tracks, nearly 10 minutes each, and yeah, really good cosmic death metal, so check them out, Sidereen. First thing we're looking at, we're going to go to Denmark and take a look at Hyperdontia. Definitely one of the best of that so-called Killtown death metal type of bands. There's quite a few that fall into that category, but for me, Hyperdontia from Copenhagen, definitely the highlight. This is Excreted from the Flesh. We'll take it out of the sleeve. Yeah, this is a 2-track 7-inch, came out this year, I believe it was this year, and I'm finally picking it up. Earlier this year I think it came out. Yeah, if you like Nexus of Teeth, the album they did, was it last year or the year before? I've lost track, I think it was 2 years ago. It's more of the same. Good sort of murky death metal, mid-pace, sometimes gets quite fast, dual guitars, it's good stuff. Yeah, like I said, a flavour that bands from that sort of Killtown area have. And yeah, the presentation, gatefold, and just sort of black wax, 1 track each side from MSUO. So yeah, not much to say. It's a 7-inch. There's not much to say. There's only 2 tracks, and it's more of the same from Hyperdontia. They have another one coming out. I pre-ordered it through MSUO. A split with I've forgotten who the split was with. I think it might have been nope, it's completely forgotten me because I got it for Hyperdontia. But anyway, I'm going to write it down below because it's going to piss me off that I've forgotten. But there you go, Excreted from the Flesh, good one from Hyperdontia. Speaking of Hyperdontia, and I've said that name quite a lot already, this is Septage. They're brand new. Well, can you tell from the cover? They're heavily early Carcass-inspired gore grind, death grind from members of Hyperdontia. They just decided to have a bit of fun, and yep, it sounds like it looks. It sounds like Reika Putrefaction, just with better production than that album had. It's fun. The vocals are processed to hell. Very gory. I love this picture here. Good fun. Yep, just simple black wax. In its is it 4 tracks? Yeah. Mouthful of Untreated Sewage, Corrupted and Putrid, Jeffrey Dahmer, which is a cover from Death Room, whose band I never heard of before this, and Septitious Septic. So there you go, that's Septage. Getting a bit of a quick name for themselves, probably because of the guys in the band, and just playing that style that we love so much, that early gore grind, and it's just a lot of fun. It's on tape as well. There's probably a CD, I'm not too sure, but another one from MSUO, Septage. Looking forward to more stuff from these guys. And the last of the 7 inches we have here is Mourned. This is a thick, doomy death metal band from I think they're from the UK. They're on Maggot Stomp, but I think they're a British band. So there you go, really classic death metal style cover there. But they've got a lot of hardcore influences in the music. I'm not going to call them deathcore because that has some connotations that are terrible. But they are hardcore influenced death metal. There you go, there's the sleeve. I love the Maggot Stomp. They put art all over their sleeves. It's very cool. Nothing on the inside, it's plain inside. And what you get, just 2 tracks of really filthy, sludgy, thick death metal, and you can hear that hardcore edge that they've got. 2 tracks, Blue Ruin and Corridors of Cain. So definitely worth checking these guys out. Just the 2 tracks. It's got a little lyric sheet in there, nothing too fancy. I actually got this one from a local distro because it is financially not a sound decision. Here I am re-sleeving on camera. Not a sound decision to order LPs of any size from Maggot Stomp to Australia. Pretty hard to justify that cost. I've done it once, and I prefer to let someone else pick up that bill. So there you go. This is Mourned, Devoured Humanity on Maggot Stomp. We got 1 10-inch, and we're going to leave the death metal behind. And this is very interesting, this one. This is very interesting. This is a black metal band called The Royal Blood Incantation of the Queen. What we have here is I think it was 1995 demo from this Portuguese band. And what do they play? They play very early Cradle of Filth worship, like Principle of Evil and the Demos type era. All they ever did was this. They did a demo. I'm not too sure what possessed the label. This is an Azra release. I'm not too sure what possessed them to dig out the demo and make a 10-inch. Maybe there's a cult following of this band that I wasn't aware of. But I was put onto this. A friend of mine told me, check this out. It's got that really unique sound for the time of early Hecate Enthroned, early Cradle of Filth, vampiric symphonic black metal, where it was just, you look at the pictures of them. I think there might be pictures in here. Well, there's definitely pictures online. Do I get anything? No, I don't. Okay, you have to take a look at the Metal Archives, and you get that. They're all wearing the black makeup, the long black hair, and they got the white puffy shirts like they're out of some kind of vampire movie. It's got that whole cheese factor. There should be some top hats. But anyway, you get 5 tracks on here from these guys. They only ever did this demo, like I said, and it's really good. It's just that early, rough and raw Cradle of Filth with cheesy keyboards before Cradle went stupid, and that first Hecate Enthroned EP. I think it's Upon Promethean Shores, I think is the name of that. If you like that stuff, you're going to like this. It's a bit raw and rough because it is a demo that they put onto wax, but it's as a curiosity, it's actually really good fun to have this. And I just like having 10 inches. They're a size that I don't get to do much with, but it makes perfect sense for something like this, where it's just 5 tracks and you don't need 12-inch space. So there you go. That is The Royal Blood with Incantation of the Queen. And now we move on to the full-length LPs. The first one I got here is a split between Rune Magic and Chthonic Deity. I mentioned in my last video, Chthonic Deity, I showed a tape, and that tape had they were only a demo stage band at this point. They had their demo tracks for that tape, plus they had 2 extra tracks that I said were a split with Rune Magic. I had completely forgotten that I had ordered this from a local distro, and it finally showed up. I'm like, oh, that's right. So I've already talked about these Chthonic Deity tracks. They appear on this LP, and they are good. Quick, brief overview again. Chthonic Deity is a more traditional death metal band from Blood Incantation members and Ascended Dead members, I think was sort of the combination. And the 2 tracks on here are really good. I think the other tracks on the other demo were a bit better, but the 2 tracks on here are really good. But what I'm really excited about on this one is the single very long track by Rune Magic. Clocks in at like 14 minutes or something. Rune Magic are a Swedish death doom band, one of the earlier bands. They've done quite a few albums. They're still going, obviously, and this is the latest thing they did, this EP split. it's an interesting split between the two bands. There's nothing similar between them, but it works. It does work. The Room Magic track is a soaring beast. It's thick and dark, gloomy, very slow, being Death Doom. Sort of almost Funeral Doom level vocals that just draw out, very guttural, very emotive sound. It's it's dark and doomy, but it's very melodic. I really enjoy it. It's an excellent track, and I need to get more from these guys. I actually don't have any Room Magic. I know that the first 2 albums are apparently sort of some of the best stuff from them, so I'm going to try and get the early works of Room Magic and then work my way through the band. So yeah, there you go. This is the split: Room Magic and Chthonic Deity. Very good. Who has put this out? Parasitic Records put this one out, so very cool. Here's a classic reissue: Hemorrhage with Emetic Cult, their first album from '95. This classic goregrind. Look, it's the 25th anniversary. We're at that point now where we're talking about goregrind bands having 25 years of existence. It's just ridiculous to me that how old I am getting. But anyway, yeah, Emetic Cult, absolute classic from these guys. This is on a strange label never heard of called Discos, Mi Cargo, and Dios. I completely butchered it, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, it's Hemorrhage. At this stage, they were definitely just drinking from the Carcass fountain, with a bit of autopsy thrown in. It's a very early putrid style that they were doing here. They refined it over the years, went a bit more death grind than the gore grind that you get on here. There's a lot of Dead Infection sound that Hemorrhage were doing, but they were one of the first of the sort of copycat style bands from early Carcass. And yeah, it's a great release. It sounds great. Nothing much to look at on the LP. It does have a sort of collage. I love it when the bands do these sort of collage things. Posters and photos of the guys, gatefold, lyric sheet. It's all very nice. And I never had Emetic Cult. I had a couple of other of their albums on CD, but the later stuff, didn't do too much for me. It was always this guy that I wanted, and now I've got it. So very happy to get the best Hemorrhage album, the first one, Emetic Cult. Another reissue, this one, man, I was so happy when this got announced. This is Mortuary. This is with Blackened Images. These guys are a Mexican death metal band. This album originally came out in 1991. It's very old for death metal. So, what are you getting for that sound? You're getting... there's a bit of early Morbid Angel, but really it's Schizophrenia era Sepultura, earlier Sepultura, but then made a bit more death metal. That's sort of what I hear with these guys. I always have. This is a lovely reissue on Iron Bonehead. You get it's a gatefold for starters. Again, photo collage, lyrics, very nice. And you get the Blackened Images album on side A and B, so the full album on one LP, and then the Where Death Takes Your Soul demo on side C. And let me just try and find that one. I'll have a look on what's the other side of that demo. So I don't think I paid attention when I looked at it last time, and it does seem to be embossed. So awesome logo, very nice. Nice embossed logo there. So yeah, I've always wanted the Mortuary CD, and it has always been, pretty pricey. The first press is ridiculous. The first press the band put out themselves in Mexico has a very different cover art. But then I can't remember the label that did the. Trying to get the poster out here. I can't remember the name of the label that did the reissue, but the reissue has always had this cover art. There we go. A lot of work there to get a poster out, which has just the same cover photo. So that was a waste of my time. But anyway, yes, very happy to have Blackened Images. It's just, it's pretty meat and potatoes death metal, but it's 1991, and it's nice to listen back at that era. And I've always liked it, but I've only ever had digital copies, so very happy to have it. Re-sleeve that one later. Mortuary, blackened images plus their demo, good stuff. The demo's pretty raw, I have to say, so you know the album's really what you want. Going to move on to some black metal releases now, and we've also changed tapes. The Sidereen ran out, and we're listening now to Caustic Vomit, their 3-track demo, which is very good, Death Doom. But the first release in the black metal we're going to take a look at is the single release I got from the last Goregrind batch. This is the split between Valak and Grindcore, both US one-man black metal bands, and both really good, both very raw. My first experience with Valak, I hadn't grabbed the album, and I'm taking a look at Discogs. I don't think I will be unless somebody reissues that one. Very raw sound. The vocals are pretty unhinged. The melody's there. It's just really kind of buried. But I found the whole thing quite hypnotic, which happens a bit with a lot of these raw black metal bands. The lack of clarity in the sound really gives it a big sort of atmosphere. And I found it, a really quite moody side to this album, the Valak split. The Grindcore side is sort of more of what he did on the album, which is, again, that raw black metal. It's got fast trem picking. It's really the tasty style that I like so much. It's not much more to say. As I said, there's 2 one-man black metal bands doing their thing. Nice Goregrind release as usual. You get the OBI strip, which he likes to put on. And just the sort of LP inside, and the sort of split photos there. Song titles. Nice little release. You know, as usual with the Goregrind stuff, it's sold out the second you try and buy it. So, you know, this one was lucky. The instead of 3 a.m. Australian time, they seemed to drop at it was like 11 a.m. or something. So, very casually added to my cart, and it was quite a respectful time for me, and quite an easy checkout process. So there you go. Grindcore and Valak, very good stuff. Do check out both bands. Don't know if you can get this release. It's on other formats, so maybe you can. But check out the material from the guys and be prepared for future releases from them, because I think you'll enjoy it if you like raw black metal. This one, holy hell, Vega. These guys are from the Ukraine. This is Vargral, damn Germanic fonts, Vargkult. I've said it before, I rarely pay attention to album titles. It's just the new album from Vega. It's not that new. It's from 2018. Was issued on CD, I think. But this was put out by Azra. It's another Azra release on LP. Only just came out. I got it from an Australian distributor, and this is something that's worth mentioning now. If you like this kind of stuff, the Azra titles, the raw black metal, there's a new Australian distributor called Overuse. They're out of Tasmania, and he's getting some great stuff in, and the titles are lasting. They're there for days. Some are still there now. They're weeks later, and it's a great service to have in Australia, because a lot of the stuff from Azra and similar labels, the ones I mean. There's so many similar labels doing this kind of stuff. It's pretty hard to get the stuff over here affordably, and in one piece. I've been getting a lot of warps from overseas. But anyway, enough of that. Check out Overuse, Tasmanian new distributor. They need your support if you're into this style of music. But Vega are from the Ukraine, like I mentioned, and play a seriously fierce black metal. The opening riff on this is going to be stuck in my head for weeks. Just check out the first track on this one, Rune, Ice, Frozen, Hatred. Just listen to the first 20 seconds of it. That riff is now stuck in your head. And the whole album sounds like that. It's just a punishing black metal with each song is probably comprised of maybe 2 or 3 chord progressions, but they are the hooks are just amazing, absolutely amazing. The vocals are just barked out, absolutely screeched out. it sounds a bit like this cover, which is certainly not a pleasant cover by any means. But anyway, great album. I have a early release from them, which was similar in style, but probably not as fierce. It was like a 2011. I think it was the demo on wax. I've shown that in a previous update a long time ago. Nothing too exciting to look about there. And yeah, the evolution of this guy, well, this band, I think it's more than just one guy, is, yeah, this is a brutal album. Very clear in the production as well, which is good for, you know, this kind of style. Not murky at all. It is, you know, it sounds like a Marduk album in the best possible way I could say it, but it's mainly the ferocity and the speed of something like Panzer Division that I'm thinking of there. Their musical style is more pagan, definitely more pagan black metal. You know, the riffs kind of soar, and they have that, you know, that feeling that you get from those pagan black metal styles. Yes, anyway, Old Vega with Varg Cult, and it is highly recommended that you pick this one up. Good stuff. And this one is another compilation of demos. This is a band called Nimbifa. I think it's Nimbifa, might be Nimbifa, I don't know. And came out of nowhere. I didn't know who these guys were, and I was checking out Vendetta Records, who is this label. They put out all kinds of stuff that I really enjoy. They're almost a label I would subscribe to and just get their releases, because they're always good. And this thing cropped up, and it was a bit different for them, because they don't usually do this kind of thing. This is Demo 1 and Demo 2 from Nimbifa, issued on wax. And it's, I'm not going to say a raw black metal and make you think of, you know, Regola and Valak and, you know, Lamp of Murmur, but it is black metal that is raw. Distinction, you know, it is there. Anyway, really tasty riffs on this. This is a lot of fun. It is Demo 1 4 tracks, Demo 2 3 tracks. I'm pretty sure they're German. The whole thing's in German anyway. Lots of fun. Even the guy from Vendetta was surprised that he put this thing up with whatever, like 150 copies, his usual number, and it sold out. It's sold out, which doesn't happen with their titles. And you know, he was so surprised he did a second run. So this is from the second run, because I missed that first run, and it's great. Yeah, I've played this quite a few times already. 2 demos from Nimbifa. Whoop! I knew that was going to happen. But yeah, look, take a look at the art, because I've always loved this kind of, you know, medieval, you know, recreation photos of, well, not recreation, I say, that they are drawings recreating scenes that were likely drawn, you know, back then. And I always love how the faces are always just so soulless, sometimes even smiling at their fate. So these ones are pretty fun. This guy, whoop, you know, he's like he's doing dancing a jig or something. He's got a sword through him. That one made me laugh. But it's the one on the center here. So the center here on B, side B, is pretty good. But the center, on side A here, I hope I'm showing that on the camera properly, because that just made me laugh so much. Old mate here is, you know, he's resting his hand on his head, just going, "Oh, woe is me," as this blade is going through vertically through his skull, and another one through his chest. And everyone's having a whale of a time. It's like some kind of party. Anyway, Nimbifa, really good stuff. 2 demos, and way better than demo quality too. That's something definitely worth noting. It could easily be passed as just a full length as well. There's no distinction between demo 1 and demo 2. It just sounds more of the same. Great stuff. Nimbifa, I look forward to a proper full length from them as well. This one, my god, this is the highlight of this update, I think, for me. And thank you to Ben Brain Smasher for mentioning this. I had no idea what this was, and then when he mentioned it, I looked it up. And as I was looking it up, it seemed like the entire world started to talk about it. It must have just been unleashed that day. And that is the album, well, the EP by Stormkeep. This, wow. It's over 30 minutes long, so, you know, other bands would call it an album. They call it an EP. 4 tracks, 2 each side, of really, really strong melodic black metal. and it features the drummer from Blood Incantation and Wayfarer. He is drumming on this, and like it's a mix of all the early styles you like. It's got the early early Satyricon, early Emperor. It's keyboard laden, particularly the early Satyricon. I think if you like up to and including Nemesis Divina, there's a lot to like in this one here. From Stormkeep. What is the album even called? Galdron, I think. For a US band, it's not very US sounding at all. Definitely very European flavoured. I just came out of nowhere. I think there might have been a demo, but the EP has just taken off. I was going to get it from the source, which is Van Records, and I literally put it in the cart, and I was on Facebook, and local distributor Impure Sounds just said, "Yeah, we've got copies." So okay, cool. Ordered it, and then a couple of days later it arrived. I played it twice through so far because it's pretty new edition. Lovely poster. There you go. Very nice with that cool logo. This is going to be a band that's going to take off. It helps having a Blood Incantation member, I'm sure, but on the strength of the music, this is just sensational. Van Records, and recreation of the art there, and lyric sheet, and I guess there's the band there doing their thing, looking very, very 90s. Yep, you like 1995 black metal, you are going to like Stormkeep. Early first album, Borknagar, definitely happening on this. There's parts where it gets into the clean singing that reminds me a bit of Garm. It does a bit of the acoustic. I'm trying to re-sleeve it. I'll leave it out. Trying to do a bit of the acoustic guitar, just to give some balance to the ferocity of the music. And the keyboards, like I said, they're there. We will show the wonderful smoke-coloured LP on this one. Really, really like that. I think this EP is going to appear on many, many lists this year, and at this point, it will probably appear on one of mine if I can get it back into the sleeve. There I can. So there you go. Stormkeep on Van Records. Definitely check it out. If you check one thing from this update, Stormkeep. Awesome. And the last one we're checking out as well is No Slouch. 2018 band I hadn't heard of at the time, called M-A-R-E, released an album called Ebony Tower. That thing was a amazing Norwegian black metal album. Had sort of real dark, evil atmosphere to it. It went at a mid-pace. The vocals were really haunting, and I've been very much looking forward to new stuff from them. I had never actually went and looked back to see what they did before that album. I just assumed that was all they had. I don't know why I thought that. They've been around for about a decade. What we have here is an absolutely beautiful presentation of an EP and a demo that they did, I think it was 2010, 2007. It tells you they're right on the front. Spheres Like Death from 2010, and from 2007, Throne of the 13th Witch. Wow, this stuff is really good. It's not as good as Ebony Tower. The band have progressed over the years, since 2007 to 2018. It's quite a few years of progression. But it's really still solid stuff, particularly the 2010 release. That is sort of closer to the Ebony Tower, where the 2007 demo is a bit more traditional. It has less of their own style. It's definitely borrowing elements from other bands, which is what, first demos always sound like. So yeah, it's a nice slipcase, which is very cool. And inside you get a gatefold. Great presentation. Whole thing is like a matte finish. It's beautiful. Try and open this guy up. So we get the lyrics. Very cool. It's very, it's got sort of red inner cardboard there, if you can see that. Makes it feel very royal. And inside, poster. Very nice. There you go. Two-sided. And the LP, which is beautiful. Red smoke color on this one. Really, really nice. Great presentation for a very good release from Ma. Now, I've never actually heard the name said, so is it Ma? Is it Mare? Is it Mare? Who can say? But what I can say is that this is a fantastic compilation of their early demo and their first, I think it was their first EP. Don't jump in here if you've never heard the band. Start with Ebony Tower, but if you are a fan of Ebony Tower, want to hear more, pick this up. It's very well priced for something that is so luxury. This really is one of the most gorgeous looking presentations that I've got in my collection. Like even the, it's got almost a wax seal there. This is from Territor Possessions is the label. And yeah, that's it. That's the release from Ma, and that is this update. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.